Good afternoon, welcome to Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, my name is Wookie Triple XL or Reese 4Ps from KFC. You are welcome to come up with your own derivative as long as you put it in the comment section below. But in today's review, we're having a look at a K95 RGB Platinum XT. This very box, well, what's in the box at least, right in front of me over here. Now Corsair has been employing this very layout and design with the K95 for quite a while, and the good news is that there's a lot of familiar sort of areas and setups on here. One of them being the absolutely fantastic audio control scrolling or audio level scrolling over here, or audio volume scrolling at least over here on the side with the dedicated media keys and the straight mute and unmute all being put in this corner above the numpad. This, like I say, this scroll is amongst the best and most satisfying scrolls in the entire world, I have to say. Then there are a couple of nice new little additions on the other quarter panel over here. One of them being the fact that you can have 3 profiles now on the keyboard. It now comes with 8 megabytes worth of internal memory. So you can put 3 different profiles from the IQ software, and I mean full macro edited profiles on the switch over here. We've got the lighting switch to turn the lighting on and off, and then there's a convenient Windows lock button on the top here for those with fat fingers who alt tab in the middle of games. There you go, Corsair's got you. On the far left, you'll notice 6 macro keys, or on your far right at least. On the far left of the keyboard, there are these 6 macro keys. And these have been put in there specifically as macro-enabled devices, so you don't have to take away from your existing keys, or it can be additive to your existing keys. All of these are double shot keycaps, very good quality, 1.5mm thickness, and quite a rough actual surface to them, not smooth like some of the other ones. And I quite like the textured feel. It does feel a little bit better. And if you want to have the same sort of key set for your WASD and your surrounding keys, they do provide you with it, and with a key removal tool, which is always nice to have. You don't really need it. It is quite easy to remove keycaps in most cases because these are cherry switches, so they just pull away. This specific set is the silver set, which is rated amongst the harder sets amongst, well, pretty much the hardest actually that they do make over cherry, with a 90 CN activation force. So it's quite a lot to push them in, but it doesn't feel like that, to be very honest with you. This keyboard does feel pretty good. I used it for 3 days while test benching the 5900X and 5950X. I used it on the test bench because this is where I was working on stuff, and when I was playing games like Dirt 4, which I use WASD and then the full arrow set for gear up, gear down, and handbrake, and different, all my settings are that I need on those key sets. I basically have 4 fingers on the keyboard, or on each hand at least, 8 fingers being activated or being used for that kind of a gaming environment, and it was really good. I really do like the way that these keycaps actually feel. And the mechanical switch is not bad either. It actually feels lighter than the 75 CN that I used on the K60 with those cherry Viola switches, which are new. They actually have 2 different levels, 45 CN and then 75. And these are heavier than that, and it actually felt really fluid, I must say. Cherry MX keys are just, well, on that sort of quality. That's why they're Cherry MX. And if you do want to change these, you can change them out with a blue set. So if you want to have it be a different color, then you're able to change it from the grays to the blue. So that's kind of nice of them to include that. And then they do give you a solitary Corsair keycap, which you can then change your escape key to the Corsair keycap if you want to, or any of the keys, for instance. You would be able to change it out for that Corsair specific logo. Another nice thing about this set for the WASD that I forgot to mention is they're all angled actually. So, and angled towards the center. So the W, for instance, the top is angled towards you, and S, the bottom, is angled towards you there. So as you were to run your finger over it, it would almost be like a little mini half pipe on your keyboard. Corsair has also gone plumb crazy with RGB and taking it to the next level by putting in 19 addressable RGBs in the strip which runs along the back of the keyboard. That's a lot, and it's for something that you can't innately sort of see. It's a bit of a strange one for me, but hey, If you want to flash your neighbor next door and give them an in real life flash, then no problem. Of course, it's got you sorted there as well. The cable that goes to this puppy is also very convincing. It's an extremely thick piece of braided cable, and then there's two USBs on the end of it, one of them being for power and the normal keyboard function, and the other one being for a pass-through. So there is an extra USB connection on the top here, so if you were to run your mouse through there, you should be absolutely fine. Two USB 3s is about 10 amps worth of power, so there's enough power going through to the keyboard. Now, the overall shape and design actually hasn't changed much since the first edition. They have changed the palm rests, actual feel and that sort of stuff. It is much better, but it's exactly the same way it clipped in before. And the K60 that I reviewed previously had magnetic attachments, which I just feel are a lot better because those little pincers that are at the top there are prone to breaking. So on a 3,500 rand keyboard, would have been much better to rubberize and have that magnetically attached. Just all around magnetic attachment is a lot better because at the rate of the magnetic decay, it's going to not attach in 20 years from now, in which case it's probably ruined, or you've gone through a couple sets of keycaps, in which case replacing a magnet becomes irrelevant. It just would have been better, okay? Just trust me on that one, all right? Don't even have to trust me on it. You can ask any K70 or K65 owner about their wrist rest and how it's broken off. So you should update that Corsair, okay? That is one thing you do need to update. But what you don't need to update is the sunken deck, flat back aluminium plate, one piece of solid aluminium as well that it's been machined from. That's perfect. Really, there's no need to update on that because it is really perfection. On the back, it is a full set of rubberizing as well as per normal around the bottom and stuff, so it's not going to run anywhere, and the kickstands themselves are much better represented in this. They actually kick out sideways instead of going backwards, which I really like because when you push down, they're going to splay outwards instead of trying to be forced back like that. And then if you do have something that needs to sort of slide underneath the back of the keyboard, then they're actually up a little bit out of the way. So much better. Some improvements at least there in that facet. Really, the only complaint I have about this whole keyboard is actually the spacebar and the way that's been attached. If you listen, there's quite a lot of shake in that, right? And spacebar is quite important, especially for a typist like myself who's typing emails and working on WhatsApp web or in Skype or wherever I am working and typing. Then the spacebar is critical. You're using it constantly. And Corsair quite recently went through a bit of a quality dip, but this is right back up where it should be. I really like the fact that you get extra sets of keys and stuff in it, just adding to that premium computing experience. Though this is 3,500 rand. I did think 2,500 to 3,000 rand was reasonable considering everything that you're getting here with the onboard memory and all those sort of things, but Corsair tax does exist on this product just ever so slightly. I would say it's about 500 rand too expensive, at least per my general sort of feeling. The K60 as well, that RGB Pro SE, comes through at such a good price, being sub 2,000 rand with a full aluminium deck and that sort of stuff. But if you are buying a K95, you're buying it for the extra key sets, this sort of media key functionality. So if you have to have it, then if you're looking for macro keys and stuff and one of the more ultra sort of premium keyboards, this is it, because IQ software has customization on a level that very few manufacturers can provide right now. So all in all, K95 Platinum XT RGB, it's good. It is really, really good. It has some really nice, unique function sets, and IQ software, as I've said, is really over-engineered. The new wrist rest is much more comfortable. I do wish that it was attached in a little bit of a different way, and the spacebar is a bit noisy, really, for something that's not using Cherry MX Blues. I mean, that's a normal keycap. This thing sounds like it's got 17 screws loose. Beyond that though, it is exactly what we thought it sort of should be from Corsair, and it is a return to form as far as general build quality goes. It's much better than the version 2s of these sort of products. And then this is a very, very familiar setup. So people that are looking to replace the old K95s and stuff, don't worry, this one's improved. Anyway, that is all we have for this review. Do hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you have, then hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side. This racket outside they're building next door is driving me nuts. But one nice advantage of working from home here is I'm actually barefoot right now. And nobody can tell nobody's the wiser, because from the waist down, I could be in my underwear for all you know.